Good morning, honorable members.
Good morning, Chair.
How are you this morning?
Good, Chair. How are you?
I'm trying.
Morning, Chair.
Morning, honorable Mkweba.
Morning,
How are
Chair.
you?
Morning, Chair.
Morning, ma. Engazi ngakhumbula ma kade ngakugcina.
Bengibanjwe healthy pants.
Hayi ngubonile ukuthi hayi cha. Ngubone noma ubuza ukuthi hayi. Yaqhuba.
Morning, Chair.
Morning, sis.
Morning, Chair.
Morning. How are you, Mam Sonti?
Naphila, Chair, kunjani?
Bese
Ngiyaphila,
ngikhumbule.
bakusizile be-CGE.
Ngikhulumile nabo on the following day, ubhuti lowa, and then wadibana nomnye usisi bathi uSis Joyce emafikeni. So, bathe le ndaba ifuna ama-social workers, then ke ngikhoma namanje into abazoyenza bazobhala i-official letter ngoba ngoku bidilwa nje ngendlela engekho strictly, so bazobhala i-letter to the social workers officially. So I'm just waiting that email nam ke kwelami icala bengekayifumani.
Oh.
But yona kusesenjalo nje akabikho nto etshintshile.
Oh.
And then okuvisa kubi ukhulumile amanga ne-social worker yase-Brits Northwest. Lo mfana wathi abantwana basekhaya Eastern Cape bangena isikolo. Mandizama ukukhangelisa i-Eastern Cape abakho lapha, ayikho lento ayikhulumayo.
Kanti ama-social worker asebenza kanjani, Mam Sonti? Awaye endaweni wona?
Andiva, Chair.
Ama-social worker asebenza kanjani? Awaye endaweni wona?
Hey, i-process siyandisokolisa, andazi uba kwenza kanjani. Hey, hayi. Because bendithi mna kubo into engcono umuntu owazi yonke indaba yabantwana ukuthi bakuphi ngulo baba wabantwana. Mabangathatha yena bambeke la ahambe namapolisa ayokhomba abantwana lapho bakhona, it will be easy. But ngoku into endisokolisayo bathi abazi mabengazi ukuthi abantwana bakuphi. Andiyazi kwenzeka ntoni because lo mfana ukhuluma amanga lapha kuba even nasecourt besile ukhulume amanga wodwa i-court yathi makahambe ovula icase lapho abantwana bakhona ngoba nguye ovule icase. Okokuqala bengafanelanga kuye yena lento ke court ngoba umanele istory mandikhuluma namapolisa kanti uzivalele endlini wenza ngathi akekho wavela wavuka ekuseni waleqa ecourt yena. So i-court ayifuna ukundimamela, andiyazi uba kwenzeka ntoni kona, Chair.
Uphi umama wabantwana, Mam Sonti?
Umama wabantwana useKapa, wena Nantsika Masiko, Honorable Masiko, useKapa umntwana wami, ubambe isikoropo khona, but naye also akaphilanga, uphansi kodoctor. Kulo beka bamdischarge ngoDisemba, akaphilanga, une-TB ento. Bathi intoni le nto?
Batshatile, Mam Sonti.
Batshatile, but kudala bengasahlali bonke from 2014.
Oh.
And abantwana bakhulela kum bonke.
Yeah.
Bakhulela kum abantwana, even lo ugulayo, i-documents zakhe zilapha kum zonke. Zonke wenzani apha khona ngomntwana zikum because into endiqiniseka ngayo if uyamtshintsha esibhedlele esi athi nansi treatment ikhona bekufanele uba uthola i-permission incwadi emkhupha sekhona lapha, yes. But andiboni ukuthi yenzekile yonke loo nto ngoba ama-documents alapha kum. So ukhuluma amanga. Uyabona? Kuyavakala uba abantwana baseDurban, ubafihle eDurban. Kuthi eDurban kuphi asazi. Ingxaki yamanga okanye kuvela ingxaki icala lakhe uyafa sizobakhangela apha abantwana bam.
Awukwazi ukuthi uthathe umntanakho nihambe ne-children's court?
Siphuma khona.
E-children's court?
Khona eNorthwest eBrits siphuma khona nge-19th ka-April. Bendikhona laphaya. Kulapho basilahle khona ngoba lo mfana nguye okhokhele kuqala chairperson wovula icase. Manje masifika thina bamamela yena yonke lento ayikhulumayo. Babuza abantwana ukuthi bakuphi.
Bebulalela into engekho.
Hey, and then from there, umagistrate wathi hamba ovula icase apho abantwana bakhona. Urelaxile njengamanje ngoba uyazi
Sekungaphi?
uba amanga.
So yena kusho ukuthi uqambe amanga ecourt.
Andiva Chair.
Ecourt bamikela kanjani mamsonti akhuluma
It's my
amanga
question.
abantwana abangekho bababuza.
It's my question, Chairperson, ukuthi why bayenza kanje? And mina on my side abafuna ukunimamela bathi I'm a grandmother. Kufaneleke kube ngunkosikazi nomyeni. Mara ndiyabatshela ukuthi ndim ophethe abantwana kusukela. Le ndoda abantwana ayibazi. And ikhuluma manga ukuthi abantwana azange bafunde from 2014. Abantwana bebefunde Acacia Park, Chairperson. Bebefunda abantwana bebhatalela ndim zonke izinto. Bebefunda abantwana. Isitori sami abafuni kusiva. Ngahamba ndiyadlele ndabuya neleta ka-social worker ethi amapolisa mawandisize kule issue. Azange bayifunde nditsho ukuyifunda that letter. Mandithi nje mandizama ukukhuluma nje animameleki. That's why ndiye ndafowunela uminister we-social development. Ukuze ngoku bakwazi ngathi andiva Chair.
Ukuncedile yena.
Ukwi-process andithi nayo ukhuluma nabo lezi social workers. Ayona i-problem endingayazi futhi uba mna ndizoyisolva kanjani. Andiyazi.
Iyahlupha nje lento Chairperson ngoba ne-KZN njengoba yabhala yonke leya nto ibhala ngozama impilo akaze kube khona nokodwa ngisho amanzi nje awekho esikoleni.
Umasiko kuleya meeting ma wayesinikeza i-feedback yaleyo nto leyo.
Yes.
Masiko uzokutshela mase sicede ukwenza i-report yethu.
Okay. Ngophela kwethu lo msebenzi sonke.
Uzokutshela.
Umsebenzi wethu nje sonke indawo yethu ke le uma kuhlala abantu abadisabled.
Okay, good morning, honorable members. Because all of us who are here, I see we are 18. We can start with our meeting. Neliswa, who's going to make a presentation? Kashifa or is yourself?
Myself, Chair.
Okay, Etinsule on my screen, sir. Any apologies?
Yes, Chair. Good morning, Chair and members.
Wrong. I declare this meeting official open. My apologies. Good morning, honorable members. I welcome you all. I declare this meeting official open. Today, our agenda today is the adoption of our budget vote report, and also the other report is about the salaries of the commissioners. You remember last year we did it where we received a communique from the president, whereby the president was recommending that he's not going to increase the salaries of the commissioners. But this year, I take it that Uneliso have sent that report to yourselves so that you can read it. And then again, this morning, we are going to adopt that report and make recommendations as the portfolio committee so that we can be able to present it in the House. With those few words, honorable members, due to time constraints, we must start now and finish at 10 because at 10 there's a sitting. So I'll allow Neliswa to tell us if there are any apologies.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning, members. Yes, there are two apologies from Kashifa and Tasnim, who is on their religious leave because today it's Eid. So they won't be able to join the committee's meeting today. Thank you, Chair.
Oh, okay. And then I see the hand of Honorable Sheriff.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Good morning. Once again, Chairperson, I have to leave the meeting at 9 o'clock because I have a constituency meeting, Chairperson, so please note my apology.
Okay, no problem, thank you. Christelle, you are here, ne? No, take the old one. Christelle, you are here?
Yes, Chairperson, I am here.
Okay, you'll help us to amend our report where it needs be, ne?
Yes,
So Nelisa, what Nelisa need to do, she must also send the report to you so that you can be able to assist us. Or maybe when we are correcting some paragraphs, you'll write it down so that we can be able to read it quickly. That's what I'm asking for, so that we can finish our report today. Because next
Yes,
week,
Chair.
Wednesday, we are debating our budget vote. And then there's no other time that we'll be able to have another meeting. Because they said, because of our plenaries, mini plenaries to adopt our budget votes, so they are not going to allow us to hold portfolio committee meetings. So that's why we need to adopt our report today. Over to you, Nelisa. Sheriff, may you please lower your hand?
No problem, Chair.
Chair, I'm going to go through the budget vote report, which I've shared. I hope members can see it.
Take the old one, this one.
It's the budget vote report on the annual performance plan, which is budget vote 20 of the Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities for financial year 2021-22, dated today, 14 May 2021. It reads as follows: the Portfolio Committee on Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities, having considered the annual performance plan and budget in the of the department in the Presidency for Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities on 4th of May, National Youth Development Agency on 5th of May, and the Commission for Gender Equality on 11th of May. It reports as follows. The point number 1 is introduction. As per the announcement, tablings and committees, that is 86.
Nelisa,
Check.
you know, I want you to go to, okay, we can read the introduction, but social wise cut. What I'm thinking is that maybe if you can go to overview, and then because the other things are standard.
Yes,
Remember them, but what you can do for us, you can present to us, go to mandates, because remember there were things that you have raised as the portfolio committee with regards to mandates, where the department was talking about now into regulation. So we want to see if there are changes that we have done in terms of mandates, or the mandate according to their report is as is. And then the other things that they were talking of them being a regulator, it's somewhere else. So because we are not going to, you must talk to the report. Because report from Exeni up until 3. So if we are going to allow you to read the report yonke as is, we are not going to finish.
Okay, Chair.
So that we can go to straight kubo concerns of the portfolio committee and recommendations.
Okay, Chair. Point number 2 of the report is the mandate and strategic objectives of the department. Maybe, Chair, if only I can just read this one, because it gives a background on the mandate of the department. It's such a short sentence, Chair. It says here, just give a background on when the department was gazetted on the 26th of June 2019. At that stage, the department was once reconfigured and was charged with taking the lead on socio-economic transformation and implementation of the empowerment and participation of women, youth and persons with disabilities through mainstreaming advocacy, monitoring and evaluation. Of importance to notice is the change to the department's mandate as articulated in the amended strategic plan and APP for 2021-22 from a paradigm shift from being a facilitation department to a regulatory one. To this end, the Minister, Minister Maite Mashabane stipulates in her foreword of the current APP, this shift from being a facilitation department to one that regulates government program and monitors the empowerment and prioritization of women, youth, and persons with disabilities. So I'll skip the vision and mission and then go straight to the observation, if that's okay, Chair. Can I continue, Chair?
So as you are presenting, honorable members must remember that the things that we have raised with regards to the vision and the mission, I think, I think there were things that we have raised. I'm thinking of NYDA and CGE. There were things that we have raised. All what we need to check is that those things are captured Kuma concerns and our recommendations which.
Yes, I'm at observations now. The first observation with regards to, I'm at point number 6 with regards to the Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities. In terms of the general matters, on mandate, the committee noted that the mandate of the department has been reviewed to that of a regulatory department and requested the department to provide more clarity in this regard as the requisite details was lacking in the amended strategic plan and APP.
The overview, yes.
Maybe introduction, Chair, if.
Okay.
The committee noted the regulatory role of the department is not incorporated in program 225 and requested explanation on the matter. Given the change in mandate, the committee inquired as to how will the department continue with the awareness campaign and working with other stakeholders as well as mainstreaming gender, youth, and disability. Committee noted with concerns that the core mandate of the department was not clearly articulated in the amended strategic plan and the APP, hence impending oversight. The committee was concerned that there is misalignment between programs 1 to 5 of the department and its mandate. The committee was also concerned that the department changed its mandate from facilitating to regulating. The committee was concerned that targets planned by the department are not smart and therefore oversight is impaired. On point 6.1.2 on unmet targets, the committee questioned whether the department plans to meet the unmet target in 2021 during 2021-22 financial year and what the timeframes were in order to do that. Dysfunctional website. The committee was concerned that the website of the department that has not been functional for months and questioned how civil society would gain access to information virtually about programs, activities, policies, etc. On program 1, human resources, the committee noted that the department continued budgeting for consultants and raised this as concern given that it has been It has been the matter that the committee did not support. The committee had on numerous occasions outlined to the department why it should desist from using consultants given its limited budget and provided recommendation on how to address the matter. To this end, the committee also inquired as to when the department would stop procuring the use of consultants given fiscal constraints. Moreover, the committee noted that the department has 41 staff who are paid more than 1.3 million per annum, and thus questioned why the budget was still allocated for consultants to implement programs of the department. The committee noted with concern that the majority of staff were employed within the administration program as opposed to the core program, and requested an explanation in this regard. Committee inquired as to what mechanisms are implemented to deal with the lack of capacity and resources in department. Committee expressed its dissatisfaction and contempt at the explanation provided by the department on justifying its use of consultant. The comparison with the DPME and budget for contracts not coming from cost of employment, but consulted, that is business and advisory service. This was noted as misleading. On women's empowerment and gender equality bill, the committee was also concerned that there was no target on the proposed wage bill within the APP. Hence, it would appear that this has not been planned for in the current financial year. As such, the department was requested to provide the committee with a report on status of the wage bill. On Program 2, Social Transformation and Economic Empowerment, 0.61.6, Framework and Socio-Economic Empowerment. Committee queried the difference between Socio-Economic Empowerment Index and the Gender Barometer developed by the Commission for Gender Equality. Committee was concerned that the new SEEI did not link and build onto the country gender indicator framework, women's financial inclusion framework, and the gender responsive planning, budget monitoring, and evaluation framework. Committee noted with concern that the proposed new framework would only be finalized, implemented, and monitored in the outer years of the MTSF cycle. On interventions, the committee requested clarity on the 4 interventions to support socio-economic empowerment and participation of women, youth, and persons with disabilities. Committee asked who is implementing the 1 intervention per quarter to support social empowerment of women, youth, and persons with disabilities, and where is the regulatory part in the intervention. The committee also inquired as to how are the intervention regulatory, for example, attending a conference is, or for example, attending a conference is not a regulator. Sanitary dignity. The committee questioned how the department conducts the monitoring and evaluation of the rollout process, the usage of the equitable share allocation, given the committee's engagements with the provinces on the sanitary dignity program and all the challenges raised. Committee noted that production of progress reports in and by itself is not a true reflection of whether the sanitary dignity framework has been successfully implemented or not. What the challenges are and what the department has done to address this. Hence, the progress on the implementation of the sanitary dignity program across provinces was not accurately or clearly reflected in the APP, which was concerning to the committee. The committee was also concerned that there was no target in the APP that relates to the total number of the beneficiaries that would be reached through this program, that is national and provincial. Based on the committee's prior engagement with the provinces, there appears to be no uniformity or informed choice for deciding on the number of beneficiaries to target. On gender-based violence and femicide, on finance, point number 1 on finance, the committee requested the department to explain what the 5 million that was allocated to implement the NSP on GBV in 2020-21 would be spent on. Committee was also concerned that there were no clear activities to achieve program of gender-based violence and femicide. On National Council on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide, the committee requested the status report on the establishment of the National Council on the GBVF, National Strategic Plan on GBVF. The committee questioned how it is meant to hold the department accountable for the development of guidelines on GBV and a requisite bill when these are not reflected as targets in the APP. On M&E, the committee queried what the department is doing to monitor the implementation of the National Strategic Plan on GBV. Committee noted that government has committed 12 billion to implement various components of NSP on GBV and questioned how the department was monitoring expenditure in this regard, as well as the time frame in which the funds should be spent. On Program 3, policy stakeholder coordination and knowledge management, on monitoring and evaluation, the committee questioned what the difference is between the roles of Department of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation and Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disability with regards to the new mandate. Committee also queried what the difference was between the new mandate presented to the committee and the framework that were previously presented to the committee. On Program 4, in finances, the committee was concerned about the budget allocated to Program 4, which was minuscule given that the department spent at present more money on office accommodation, that is 18.3 million, than it does on the entire national program dedicated to persons with disabilities. To this end, the committee questioned why the department has allocated such a small budget to this program. Absent role of regulator, the committee was also concerned that the regulatory role of the department is not incorporated in Program 4. Disability Rights Bill, committee was concerned that there was no APP target on tracking the development of the disability rights. In addition, the committee questioned why the department indicated within its APP that the South African Law Reform Commission was developing the bill and not the department. Presidential Working Group, the committee queried whether there is a working relationship between the Presidential Working Group on Disabilities and this program. On M&E and the Department of Social Development, the committee queried whether the department monitored the work done by the Department of Social Development in terms of services rendered to persons with disabilities. Program 5, the Committee on Finances noted that Program 5 has a budgetary allocation of 12.3 million and noted this program will also procure the use of consultant. More clarity was sought on this regard. On targets, the committee also noted that Program 5 has only 5 targets planned for the current financial year and inquired as to whether the targets will be met with budget allocation to the program. Furthermore, the committee also noted with concern that the program referred to additional activities it intends undertaking for the current financial year, but this was not reflected in the current APP, thus holding the department to account in this regard. Thus, holding department in account in this regard will be difficult for the committee to do so. The committee also inquired as to whether the objectives of the department is aligned to the 5 targets of the program. On national youth policy, the committee also inquired as to whether the national youth policy implementation monitoring reports were any different to that of the NYDA's quarterly report submitted to the committee. NYDA Amendment Bill, committee inquired as to whether the department has engaged with youth in communities, especially in youth in rural areas, on the National Youth Development Agency. Amendment Bill. Relationship with department, the committee was concerned about the lack of a working relationship between the National Youth Development Agency and the department, especially Program 5. National Youth Development Agency, in terms of the National Youth Development Agency, the committee made the following observations. General matters, standardized reporting. The NYDA was urged to standardize the budgeting report style so that information contained in the NE in National Treasury report should be the same as contained in the APP of the NYDA. Local Government Election Committee asked whether there were any plans in place by the NYDA and the department to encourage young people to register for the local government election, as this was an important component of building social cohesion and patriotism. Inclusion of youth with disabilities. The committee welcomed the inclusion of a target for youth with disabilities in the APP of the NYDA, but urged the NYDA to do more specifically for ensuring access for persons with disabilities at branch level, access to NYDA offices and services. The committee was also concerned that the satellite offices in rural areas do not provide full service for youth in rural areas. In addition, the committee noted that during constituency visit to a certain branch offices, computers were not operational, thus bringing into question how youth will be able to access online information or to be assisted with NSFAS application by the NYDA. Youth machinery. The committee questioned whether the department and the NYDA participated in youth machinery meetings, as this was not reflected in the APP, which was concerning, as this was an important platform to engage with youth. Vision, the committee noted with concern that the NYDA removed accessibility and excellency in its new vision as values, but provided no reason as to why, and thus requested more clarity in this regard. NYDA Amendment Bill. Committee noted that NYDA is a stakeholder in the process of the National Youth Development Agency Amendment Bill and was concerned that proper consultation on bill has not been properly conducted, e.g. NY branches and provinces were not aware of the process of the bill. The committee was also concerned about the lack of a working relationship between the Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities, in particular Program 5, and the NYDA insofar as collaborating on the NYDA Amendment Bill is concerned. The APP has no specific target that relates to activities pertaining to the NYDA Amendment Bill, even though reference is made to supporting the process in principle by the CO. The lack of a specific target that can be tracked in this regard is concerning. On program MIWA 1, Human Resource, the committee inquired about the status of workplace skills.
Just one thing, Chair, if you can allow me.
Yes, Honorable Mpiti.
Chair, if we can just go up to access to NYDA offices and services on page 28. Just to state that
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Chair, just to state that I really think we need to be clear on the point of the online application process in terms of the grants has not been, it's not accessible essentially. So the point that was made there was that when you do go onto the website and you want to apply for, the 4 threshold grants that the NYDA provides for entrepreneurs, you are unable to apply or submit your application online. So in terms of the COVID-19, and that was the concern, that the COVID-19 pandemic has put a reliance on, working through the internet, etc. And so we need to be very clear, because a lot of young people complain about the fact that you have to go inside the branch to submit your application for a grant. Whether it be the 1,000 to 10,000, all the way going up to 250,000. So I think it should just be more clearer, because it doesn't come across as we're referring to grants, because grants is one of the key issues that we receive as honorable members from young people. Thanks, Chair.
I think the first concern was accessibility, online services zabo. They are not working. If I remember very well, Honorable Mpiti, that was the first concern. You remember that the system, it allows you to open, but in terms of further processing of your application, it does not allow you to continue with the application. If my memory serves me well, that was the first one.
Yes,
Can honorable members help us? And I think the response that they gave us is that they are busy fixing their IT system. That was the first one. And then the second one was that one of applications for grants, Honorable Pete. All of us were in a meeting. Can other members remind us? The first, the one that Honorable Pete was raising is the one of grants. But I think there was a problem in the IT system. Yabo. If my memory serves me well. Can I get a hands, honorable members? Silence means you were not in, part of the meeting.
Chair, we were part of the meeting, but for me, it wasn't really clear what the NYDA had indicated in relation to resolving the issue of the application process online. It was the department that was very clear. It had timelines as to when their website would be up and running, but it wasn't really clear. It didn't come out clear from the side of the NYDA as to when they would be able to upgrade their online system to accommodate the grant application process holistically. Thanks, Chair. Okay.
So, Honorable PT, in terms of how do we then capture it, can you assist us?
Thanks, Chair. I think Honorable Masiko covered it quite well. I would go along the lines to say the portfolio committee inquired in regards to the online grant application process, in which young people or entrepreneurs were not able to submit their applications for grants online due to, I would say, you know, the online system flaw. I don't know. The online system.
Why don't you write it down and send it to Nelly? So
sure.
Because it's better if you write it down, because Nelly will not capture it correctly when you Ne? Ne? Repeat.
That's fine.
Write it down and WhatsApp it to Nelly so that before we finish the meeting, we'll go back to this one. Honorable Peter, can you hear me?
Yes, Chair, I'll write it down.
Or you can hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, we must note this one. We'll come back to it. Continue, Nelisa.
Thanks, Chair. I was on NYDA amendment bill. The committee noted that the NYDA is a stakeholder in the process of the NYDA agency amendment bill and was concerned that proper consultation on the bill has not been conducted properly. NYDA branches in provinces were not aware of the process of the bill.
But we move
to this one.
No, we this one, lay vision.
Okay.
The committee noted with concern that the NYDA removed accessibility and excellence in its new vision. Again, as values. Mayiqhubeka ngathi ifundeka wrong. Honorable Gweba, can you read this one? Gweba?
Chair.
Natasha? Is Natasha in?
Chair, I'm
Can you
here.
read this one here, Virgin? I remember we said NYDA has removed excellence and no accessibility. Go Virgin. Yeah, and we wanted them to put them back. But the way Unelisa I balenga corner here, angazi makachubeka ukuthi as values, but provided, I don't know. This is not what you raised. Unless mhlambe mina
Come the committee, not.
Masiko, do you remember this one?
That
Yes,
it's
Chair, I
vision.
remember this one.
Yeah, we did not. Yeah, we were concerned about them removing excellence and accessibility. And then
Yeah,
we
so
wanted
I
them
also
to put them back.
I also agree with you that in terms of the wording of the sentence, there is a problem.
Yeah.
Because it's saying that the committee noted with concern that the NYDA removed accessibility and excellence in its new vision, which is correct.
Yeah. But
but provided no reason as to why, and thus requested more clarity in this regard. Yeah. Chair, can I look at it and then probably try and SMS or WhatsApp Unelisa maybe on the correct wording for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay, let's continue.
I'm on point number 2 on NYDA amendment bill. Committee was also concerned about the lack of a working relationship between the Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities and the NYDA insofar as collaborating on the NYDA amendment bill is concerned. The APP has no specific target that relates to activities pertaining to the NYDA amendment bill, even though reference is made to supporting the process in principle by the CEO.
In fact, just wait, Nellis. Go bullet number 1. The committee noted that NYDA is a stakeholder in the process of the National Youth Development Agency. Our concern was that the department have not consulted everyone in terms of the National Youth, the NYDA amendment bill. That was the concern. So that's why we said in the meeting, they must go back and consult thoroughly. On this one. I remember Honorable Mpiti was the one who was asking them about the NYDA amendment bill. Oguti, which stakeholders did they consulted with? And I even said in that meeting, no, it's because they consult those ones that they think alike with them. They don't invite everyone. So they must go back and consult young people of South Africa to participate in this amendment bill, NYDA. So I think with this one also, it needs to be, Christelle, you are here? Christelle?
Yes, Chairperson, I'm here. I'm making some notes here on the side. I think the problem here is that, and I hear what she is saying, but I think this was in specific relation to the NYDA. So we're saying that the NYDA is a stakeholder in this process, or maybe we should start with the fact that the committee was concerned that proper consultation on the bill has not been conducted.
Yes.
That should be the first instance, I think. And then saying that NYDA branches in provinces were not aware of the process and our craft.
Yeah,
at the end, just
in
to
the
say
one,
that,
yeah, but the NYDA
yeah.
provincial offices were not aware of the amendment bill of a NYDA. And then good recommendation
Yes,
will
and
say
such-
then the department must go back and do a consultation for this NYDA amendment bill.
Yes, Chair.
Yeah, because it was Honorable William Petty or Sheriff who was informing the meeting that they visited NYDA offices. And when they were interviewing the people who are working in those offices, those people said they were not aware only of any amendments that are done to the NYDA Act. So this one also must be captured correct, Christelle.
Yes, Chair.
Okay.
Yeah, Chair.
Hello, Honorable Masiko.
Yes, Chair, I agree with the proper capturing, because when you are looking at this first bulletin, it gives us an indication, or it sort of gives a meaning that the NYDA is the one that is supposed to be conducting the consultation.
Yeah.
So I think
That's
it does
why,
need.
yeah, it's the department, it's not the NYDA.
Yes.
So it needs to be corrected.
Chair,
And izifundanga abanye abayifundanga lezi zinto lezi.
Chair,
Yes, Honorable Mpiti.
just on this point, because I think I was the one who raised this. I think how it was raised was to say that the department needs to maximize its consultation through perhaps using offices of the NYDA to reach more young people. That's how I remember the point. To maximize on the space of the NYDA to have that consultation.
No, when ukhuluma nge-recommendation, remember the issue was you raised the issue yokuthi you visited NYDA offices first, and they were not aware of any consultation or any meetings as a department in relations to the NYDA Act. But what you were recommending, ukuthi a department must be able to use offices with NYDA to further to send so that they can be assisted or invite other youth structures in their provinces. I think that's how I understood you that day. So what you are saying, we can put that Google recommendation, but in terms of the concern, we must capture the concern correctly. We understand, Honorable Pete. I get it, we need to have the concern, and then at the end of the day, and then we must have a recommendation also. Because they haven't consulted young people of South Africa holistically. What they've done, they have just invited the structures that they work with most of the time, which we felt that it's not fair. They need to open up again for consultation.
Thanks, Chair. Sorry, Chair. I think, can I come in?
Yes, Honorable Mkwebo, you can come in. Yes, Mkwebo.
No, Chair, I think I must agree with you that while we are still writing what we have noted as the committee, what Honorable Mpiti is saying must form part of our recommendation to the report.
Yeah.
Because I understand that the recommendation is clear that after we've noted that young people in the country were not consulted, in terms of the National Youth Development Agents Amendment Bill. Therefore, you know, the strategy or how they must then understand that there is a bill that they must, it must be part of the recommendation.
So, Christelle, can you please work on this one? Ne? Yeah, give me the right.
Yes, Chairperson, if I can just, I just quickly made an amendment here. I'll send this to Nelisa if members are fine with this. So in terms of the observation, then to say the committee was concerned that proper consultation on the bill has not been conducted. It was noted that NYDA branches in provinces were not aware of the process of the bill. Thus, further and broader consultation by the department is required. And then the recommendation will then follow later.
Oh, okay, the maximizing of the provincial offices then
Of the
will
office.
come.
Yes,
Perfect.
Yeah.
but it, okay, so
Christelle,
I will
it's
send this then to Nelisa.
Clevendale, is it yourself, Clevendale?
Yes, Chairperson.
Oh, I see your hand is up, so that's why I was surprised what's happening.
No. Okay, no problem, Chair. So I'll say this, or I'll make the notes here, and then I will send it to Nelisa, and when we'll make the changes later.
Okay, Honorable Masiko.
Commenting that the sentence is correctly crafted.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's go to bullet number 2.
The committee was, committee was also concerned about the lack of a working relationship between the Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities and the NYDA insofar as collaborating on the NYDA Amendment Bill is concerned. Can I continue, Chair?
Yes. Unless there's a member who wants to comment, but so far that one he captured correct.
The APP has no specific target that relates to activities pertaining to the NYDA Amendment Bill, even though reference is made to supporting the process in principle by the CEO. The lack of a specific target that can be tracked in this regard is concerning.
Okay.
Program 1 on human resource. The committee inquired about the status of workplace skills plan in Program 1, as details in this regard was lacking. The committee was concerned about the status of filling of vacancies of branch coordinators in provinces, indicating that there were only 3 branch managers employed in provinces, and how this then impacted on services rendered. The committee also asked what were the delays in the filling of vacancies at branch levels. The committee noted with concern the matter of the Gauteng branch office that was closed when visited by members during constituency, which was unacceptable. To this end, the NYDA was requested to provide an update on the disciplinary case in this regard. The committee noted with concern that staffing matters at branch level needed attention as the services rendered was being impeded either by a lack of available of staff or dysfunctional ICT equipment. Program 2, Youth Entrepreneurship. The committee inquired as to whether there were any private sector partner or stakeholders that will assist to enhance Program 2 through training in the sub-program of the economic development through youth entrepreneurship. The committee inquired about the implementation of the 1,100 business in 100 days initiatives by the president and progress in this regard. To this end, the committee asked how many young people benefited to date and those that had benefited, And those that had benefited, how many are young people with disabilities? How many are young people with disabilities have benefited from the program? And how many were repeat beneficiaries? On donor funding, the committee noted that the donor funding the NYDA intended to secure from provincial government, Department of Small Business Development, and the Presidential Youth Employment Intervention was not made apparent and requested more information in this regard. Grants program, on disability, the committee questioned how many new beneficiaries benefited in grant program, especially young people with disabilities, as this was not apparent in the targets outline. M&E, the committee inquired as to whether the NYDA accesses and monitors the impacts of the grant program. Online grant application, committee was concerned that there was no online portal available on the website of the NYDA for grant application, particularly during the COVID-19 era, thus bringing into question how accessible the services are to youth. The committee was also concerned that the satellite offices in rural areas do not provide full service for youth in rural areas. Job creation, committee was concerned that the adjusted target for jobs created and sustained through supporting entrepreneurs and enterprises has been decreased from 26,000 to 20,000 for 2020 to 2025 period, given high youth unemployment rate. Committee noted that 23,500 jobs facilitated through job placements opportunities was adjusted, but no justification was provided. What happened now?
What's wrong? Nyda,
Chair, I don't
what's
know.
wrong?
I'm not sure what happened. Can you hear me?
Yes, I move.
Oh, okay.
Nothing for also to lead.
On where was I? Yeah. On online grant applications, the committee was concerned that there was no online portal available on the website of the NYDA for grant application, particularly during the COVID-19 era, or thus bringing into question how accessible the services are to youth. Committee was also concerned that the satellite offices in rural areas do not provide full service for youth in area. On job creation, the committee was concerned that the adjusted target for jobs created and sustained through supporting entrepreneurs and enterprises has been decreased from 26,000 to 20,000 for 2020-25 period, given high youth unemployment rate. Committee noted that 23,500 jobs facilitated through jobs placements opportunities was adjusted, but no justification was provided and more clarity was sought in this regard. On national youth services, the committee noted that NYDA continued to lobby government departments and entities to implement the National Youth Services Program, which was concerning as the NYS, National Youth Services, is a priority and more emphasis should be placed on monitoring and evaluating the program instead. Committee asked what sort of donor funding NYDA is expecting to ensure NYS program is working, and what is the nature of the relationship between the NYDA and the existing NYS initiative implemented by various government departments, as details in this regard was lacking, thus impending oversight. Presidential initiatives. Committee was concerned about the relationship between the Presidential Yes for Youth initiatives, the Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities, that is Program 5, and the NYDA, and whether these stakeholders were working collaboratively or in silos. The committee questioned how many young people benefited from the Presidential Infrastructure and Provincial Infrastructure Project. On Program 3, on Youth Status Outlook Reports, the committee queried what the purpose of the Youth Status Outlook Reports were, and how the information was being used. The committee also indicated that these reports were produced in the last financial year and questioned whether these reports were useful. And then we're coming to the Commission for Gender Equalities. On general observations, the committee noted the importance of implementing the committee's budgetary review recommended report 2020 and issues raised by AGSA in relation to the annual report of 2019-20 and inquired whether these have been addressed within 2021-22 APP. Committee was concerned that targets planned by CGE lacked the requisite details and are not smart. The committee was also concerned that the technical indicator descriptions lack detailed information and will not assist the committee in conducting astute oversight. The committee noted that the evaluation aspect of the CGE's work has been omitted in the amended strategic plan, and no explanation was provided in this regard. The committee commended the CGE for achieving targets with a reduced budget in 2020-2021 financial year. Committee noted that 69% of the budget of the CGE was allocated to compensation of employees and 31% to goods and services. When comparing the budgets of the South African Youth Human Rights Commission to the CGE, the committee noted that over the past decade, the budget of the former grew exponentially, but not for the CGE. On strategic outcome number 1, the committee noted with concern that the strategic outcome 1 changed from advanced to enabling legislative environment for gender equality, but no explanation was provided. Committee noted that the CGE aspired to adopt only 50% of its submission, which seems low, with no justification provided. In addition, the committee was what is meant by adoption. There's something wrong here. What is meant by adoption and sought clarity in this regard. I think I'll make changes here. The committee noted the lack of details regarding the purpose of these reports to be submitted to the President and the Speaker of Parliament, and also questioned the implication for oversight and accountability by the committee in this regard. The committee was unclear as to why only one education program was identified as a target for a 5-year period. On strategic outcome number 2, complaints handling, the committee noted with concern that the Commission had changed the target on handling of complaints, which has been identified as a challenge for the Commission by the committee and the AGSA. The current performance measure now for this important target remained vague and unclear. On webinars, the committee also noted that the Commission will conduct 4 webinars and policy brief to follow up on commitment made in the 2020-2021 financial year webinars. The committee was concerned that there was lack of details on the nature of these webinars and what the policy brief would also cover. The committee queried what other platforms were used by the CGE to consider people who cannot access technology, particularly persons in rural areas, persons with disabilities, persons living in poverty who do not have access to data to access online media platform. Stakeholder engagement. The committee noted with concern the lack of details regarding 36 stakeholders referred to on engagement with like-minded institutions on issues related to gender equality. Without the detail, the committee's oversight is impeded. Preferential procurement. The committee noted the lack of details regarding which government institution the CGE will be engaging on the implementation of procurement rules and regulation for women empowerment. Without the details, the committee's oversight is impeded. Court monitoring. The lack of details was also noted by the committees regarding which 40 courts will be monitored. Training workshop. The committee noted the lack of details regarding the 36 training workshop on gender and sought more information in this regard. Interventions. The committee questions what the plans of the Commission were to deal with bullying in school and against discrimination of LGBTQIA+ as these were key issues of concern for the committee that require attention. On strategic outcome 3, NSP on GPV, the committee noted the lack of details regarding what reports will be monitored by CGE on the implementation of the National Strategic Plan on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide. High-level meetings, the committee noted the lack of details regarding the nature of high-level meetings and which reports will be tabled at these high-level meetings. The NSP and National Council on Gender-Based Violence, the committee questioned what has the CGE done on the monitoring the implementation of the establishment of the National Council Against Gender-Based Violence and the implementation of the National Strategic Plan on Gender-Based Violence, as details in this regard was lacking. On monitoring, the commission was also requested to give details on the monitoring of 22 government departments referred to during deliberation. On strategic outcome 4, ICT, the committee wanted to know what is the status of the ICT and knowledge management. The committee also wanted to know what are the submissions on legislation before Parliament. On vacancies, the committee inquired whether the vacancies of senior managers have been filled and if there were any outstanding vacancies to be filled. Conduct of CEO. The committee also questioned whether the Chief Executive Officer violated the policy of the Commission on establishing an interview panel with external stakeholders for interviews, and if so, what has the Commission done in this regard? On M&E framework, the committee requested an update on the monitoring and evaluating frameworks. On role of commissioners, the committee questions the role of the commissioners in giving effect to the APP and how they be held accountable in this regard. The committee was concerned that the role of commissioners was not clear in the strategic plan of the commission. The committee was concerned that the APP and the strategic plan was not aligned and questioned how commissioners adopted this document that are misaligned. Now we're coming to point number 7, recommendation. Can I continue, Chair?
What is the problem?
Can I continue with the recommendations, Chair?
Because we need to finish. Honorable members, is there anything that you want to raise that maybe we have missed when capturing the concerns by the committee? Are you satisfied, honorable members, with the concerns or observations that we have captured in our report?
Yes, Chairperson.
Yes,
I think
Chair.
what was discussed in that meeting, Chairperson?
I didn't hear anything about disability. Is there anything that we have raised on disability? Is Honorable Ngobo here?
Yes, Chairperson. No, some of the points on disabilities were covered. I'll just have one point under recommendations.
Okay, so
Chair,
yes.
I request that we just go back to the one on the interview panel.
Okay, I think that one nearly so I kept right.
Conduct of the CEO.
Yes. Chair, I'm not too sure whether we had expressed holistically or because we didn't really go into the issue of the conduct of the CEO. Maybe we might just say that the committee was concerned on reports, because I remember that the CEO actually wanted to respond to that matter itself. But here I think it expresses a feeling that the committee has already, you know, debated this issue and come to the conclusion that the CEO has violated the policy on the establishment of the interview panel. I'm not too sure whether the wording of that sentence is correct, Chair. I'm not too sure what it should be the words, but for me, it comes out as though we have already discussed the matter thoroughly and we've come to the conclusion that there has been some sort of a violation of a policy.
There is a violation of a policy, but we said they must go and they must go and investigate. What did we say, by the way, that day? We said they must, the CGE must give us a full report with regards to this one.
Yeah, we gave them 2 weeks, Chair, for that report. I remember.
Yeah, we gave them 2 weeks for that report. Good recommendation. So how must we capture it?
I think, Chair, there we must say that we expressed the concern on reports that the Chief Executive Officer violated the policy and therefore requested not an investigation, but a full report on occurrences within a period of 2 weeks.
Okay, that means a conduct CEO. That's what we want us to remove, Honorable Masiko.
Yes, Chair. Or maybe we would say that call it the violation of let me just think about this one.
Chair, I agree with Honorable Masont. I think that we need to rephrase it because now we have already founded her guilty. Wabon?
Yeah.
So I think we need to rephrase it, and then I don't know how we're gonna rephrase it. Nelisa can guide us in the rephrasing it until we get the report, and then we can put those violating the policy and those things, because now it looks we have already founded her guilty on violation, though we know who violated, but we can't conclude it until we get the report.
Yeah. So Nelly, this one we need to. Okay, remove conduct of the CEO.
Chairperson,
Yebo.
can I make
I
a
think
suggestion?
my soil in on Singapore conduct. The committee also questioned whether the Chief Executive Officer violated the policy on the commission on establishing an interview panel with external stakeholders for
Chairperson, can I make a recommendation?
No, we still on the.
Yes, Chair.
Is this a recommendation or is this a observation?
No, Chairperson, in terms of how we phrase the sentence, can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Okay, so my suggestion is maybe since we've removed conduct of the CEO, if we maybe rephrase that to say internal operational concerns or internal operation concerns, and then we say the committee was concerned about reports that the Chief Executive Officer violated the policy of the Commission.
Okay.
And we leave the rest as is, if that is in order.
I think that's in order, Chair. I support that, Chair.
Okay.
Okay,
Christel, send it to Nelly Sone.
Yes, Chair.
Sure. All right, thanks, honorable members. Okay, we can continue.
Recommendation, I'm on point number 7.
Sorry, I heard Honorable Maluleka. Honorable Maluleke.
Chairperson? No, I was answering when you said, are we happy with the observations? Then I said,
okay.
with me, yes, I was happy. But when Honorable Masiko was saying this one in connection with the CEO,
Yeah.
yeah. But I think the way it has been captured now, it makes sense. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, let's go to the recommendations.
Thanks, Chair. Having considered the APP of the and budget for the department and youth for and department, the committee recommends to the Minister for Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities as follows. With regards to the department should ensure that its key performance indicators and targets are SMART. The department should rework its annual performance plan 2021-22 and amended strategic plan and present it to the committee in the next meeting scheduled for the fourth quarterly report for 2020-2021. The department should submit to the committee the detailed report on the use of consultants, the nature of the consultants, and the cost incurred the program.
If I may stop you, Nelisa, very nipala with regards to template in Shwanda.
No, Chair. You can use
What is the correct way of writing the recommendations according to your template?
Chair, we can maybe take out.
We can maybe give us the correct template of writing your recommendations.
Chair, there's no specific way other than giving the topic recommendations, and then this very sentence, the first one, having considered the annual performance plan of the department. That is the way we write it, and then we put the bullet forms of the recommendations.
The reason about it, like about about department should, is because from your subheading, yeah, because if on your subheading on it,
yes, Chair,
kube ubhale department, yeah,
yes, Chair,
bese sizokwazi the department should ensure that its key performance indicators and targets are SMART. They say number 2B should rework its annual performance plan 2021 and amended. Why can't you look at how we wrote it last time? No, to look at the department. I get it when you write it or subheading. There's no need to repeat about the NYDA, the CGE. I'm sure you understand. Now, do you get what I'm saying, and honorable members?
Yes, Chair.
Natasha?
Yes, Chair.
Yeah.
Is it fine, Chair, if I say subheading department and then to ensure that its key performance indicators and targets are SMART, then remove the department here, should rework its annual.
Yeah.
Okay.
Angazi or fanele sithi the department or city department.
Chair.
Yes, Honorable Kweba.
I'm proposing that instead of writing department, at least must say to the department. Then start writing the subheadings. Because department alone is like uklamzanyana. Then at least
Who the department, yeah,
the recommend that to the minister of ministry.
Marafana aqale ngo the department. Yeah.
Then I will remove.
Uneliswa correct. Sorry, Chair. Can also Neliswa correct there, having considered the annual performance plan and budget for the department, the committee recommends to the minister, not minister, to the ministry instead.
We pull up for the first one.
Having considered the annual performance plan and budget for the department, yes, the committee recommends to the minister, not minister, ministry.
Why fanaka to the ministry or to the minister? Because we are recommending to the department. Yeah, Nelis.
Check.
Why pala minister when he reported say minister in department?
Chair, it's because the minister is the political head of the department, and she will give instructions to the DG and the department to implement their resolutions.
No. No, it can't be. We are not Lantika referring issues to the minister as an individual. We are referring issues of recommendation to the ministry.
Last time, how did you write it, Christelle?
Chairperson, it's usually written like this. I think as Neliso explained, because it's the budget vote report, and the minister is ultimately the executive authority. So the report is in response to the vote in which the minister is of control. So we usually write it like this to the minister.
Oh, okay. That's how you write it every time.
Yes, Chair.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The recommendation
yeah.
Now I'm saying the recommendations, Chair, are specific, and it goes to the political head of the department, so that the
so that means you need to change even to in the NYDA subheading. You need to write it like that.
Yes, Chair.
So with regards to the NYDA, because this is this is a professional, a formal report, and it must be written correctly. Yawathanda ama-shortcut ne. Siyakutshela ukuthi the National Youth Development Agency, we're not uqala ngo-National Youth Development Agency. And at that one, it must go down. In terms of academic writing, why were you writing Elon? Abbreviations, go formal report. to the Commission for Gender Equality. That's where U2 to the Commission for Gender Equality. Mgweba bosho kanje ngithi wena. Mgweba ulahlekile. Masiko
Something is
Ngobo,
not
Babu
right with
Ngobo.
the two.
Yeah,
Something is not right with the two, Chair, in the report.
angithi yo nginibuza ukuthi Mgweba
Doesn't sound
bekathiya so.
correct.
So it's right when we write the Commission for Gender Equality.
Yes, Chair.
Okay, remove lapho Nelson. Ngoba nomgweba ngiyabuza manje akasekho. Yeah. And then you will remove labolo.
Yes.
Yeah, you can clean that later.
Okay.
Let's focus on our recommendations.
Okay. The Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities to ensure that its key performance indicators and targets are SMART should rework its annual performance plan 2021-22 and amended strategic plan and present it to the committee at the next meeting scheduled for the fourth quarterly report for 2020-2021. Should submit to the committee the detailed report on the use of consultants, nature of the consultants, and the cost incurred per program. The committee also resolved not to support the use
Chair.
Yes, Honorable Masiko.
I'm sorry, Chairperson, for the sound that you'll be getting. I'm on the road to get a better network, but I think we should move to the top, and then we like, for instance, the Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities should ensure that the key performance indicators and targets are SMART. B, rework its annual if we're having or should at the beginning of the sentences, we might as well just put it once at the top.
Yeah, ngiyakuzwa. Oyenza kanje u-ensure wakho.
Samlungisa, Chair. We'll correct it now.
Okay.
Respond in writing to question stroke concerns that were raised by the committee and that were not responded to. Ensure that the annual performance plan and the strategic plan should be aligned and that the regulatory part of the mandate should be incorporated in programs of the department. A detailed report should be submitted to the committee in this regard within 2 weeks of the adoption of this report. Consider optimal use of staff allocation from program 1, where most of staff and reallocate them to the core program, e.g. program 4 and 5. Let me take this one.
Lapha ethi where most of staff I showed lapha. Where most of consider optimal use of staff allocations from program 1.
Yeah, sure, Chair.
To allocate, yeah, because agree. Yeah,
program 1, where
in fact,
most of
she
the
must
staff
remove most of staff. She must say
allocated.
consider optimal use of staff allocated from program 1 to other programs. in program 1 or from program 1. I don't know which verb must I put there. And
From program
I'll
1.
reallocate them to the core programs. Yeah.
But Chair, that one was correct in saying that it would be short that where most of the staff was. And we had said that program 1 is overstaffed or overburdened with a larger complement of staff. So that definition that was coming after from program 1, we could have put it in brackets and say that from program 1, where most of the staff are currently allocated, and reallocate them to core programs. Example, program 4 and 5.
Yeah, so what you see where like program 1, go back.
Because it was sort of defining, Chair, why we should reallocate from program 1, because it's saying that it be short and where most of the staff. It said where most of the staff
is allocated, where most of the staff is allocated.
Is currently allocated.
Where are you now?
I'm here to consider the optimal F. I'm on point F.
Yeah, right, Lana. Let's say from program 1, where most of the staff is allocated.
In brackets, check. Or continue.
Where most of the staff is allocated. Yeah, it makes sense now. But one wakuhambe moye nagahambi ku program 1. So masiko begati ufake ama brackets starting from where most of the staff is allocated. Angithi masiko. But you can leave it like that.
Yes, Chair. Yes, Chair.
Yeah. Close the bracket. Yeah, and reallocate them to the core programs, e.g. program 4 and 5. Yeah, it's fine. Let's go to the next one.
I'll change this sentence. Respond to issues raised in the report.
Where are you reading now?
Oh, must go to G. Mainstream the implementation of the sanitary dignity program across the provinces. That's point number G.
Okay.
Respond to issues raised in the ERAP of the Commission for Gender Equality at a meeting to be scheduled by the committee. Present to the committee progress made with regards to the establishment of the National Council Against Gender-Based Violence and the proposed bill. Utilize the NYDA branches to publicize the bill and as platform to consult with youth on the national youth, on the amended bill. I'll add the national youth amended, the National Youth Development Agency, the National Youth Policy, and the Integrated Youth Development Strategy. The department should utilize the NYDA branch structures to discuss the proposed disability bill.
Chairperson.
Yes, Honorable Maluleke.
I'm sorry to interrupt Nelisone.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about, I'm sorry to take you back on our recommendation, the preamble first there. I think we need to say the department, not the minister, because if you read all these recommendations that you are doing, we are saying we are not writing directly to the minister, but to the department.
So I'm not sure whether we are right if we say the recommendation are to the minister because she is the executive authority. She is the executive authority, but we have the accounting officer, which means we have got the DG, the DDGs, and let us just say
As
this recommendation. Ma?
So that we can finish our
Okay.
recommendations.
All right, mate. All right. Thank you, Chef.
Read Nelly. What
Okay.
is critical? We need to know if you have captured everything that was raised by the committee that day and the recommendations that were made.
Okay. National Youth Development Agency should submit a detailed report. I'll correct everything here, Chair. Submit a detailed information of post field and plans to fill.
But also should.
Yeah. Submit a detailed information of post field and plans to fill vacant posts as it pertains to the current staffing structure. Committee recommended that there should be a coordination between the department and the NYDA with regards to consultation on the NYDA amendment bill. Must ensure that all staff within branches are aware and informed about the NYDA amendment bill. Should
Chair.
assess.
Honorable Masigo.
On bullet number 2, sorry, yes, it says that the committee, again, it speaks to the committee recommended, but we are making recommendations. Where is?
Yeah, fanele ucima lapho lezi esifanele kuzicima zazi.
Recommended.
Fanele ususe no recommend ngoba recommendations already vele.
Yes.
Is it okay if it states like this? Should be a coordination between the department and the NYDA with regards
The
to
NYDA should. Well, I think that whole sentence now needs
to be reworked.
Yes.
Crystal, can you rework this one so that you can continue to see?
Yes, Chairperson.
Okay.
I'll do that now.
Or the NYDA should work towards better coordination, but yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Crystal,
they must ensure that all staff within branches are aware and informed about the NYDA amendment bill, should assess the functionality of its branches in terms of availability of staff and the use of ICT infrastructure, should investigate accessibility and inclusivity of offices, especially for youth with disability in provinces. The Presidential Youth for Youth initiatives should be invited to brief the committee. The committee secretary should write a letter. Okay, yes, Chair. The committee secretary should write a letter to CGA and request a progress report with regards to concerns and resolutions made by committee in the meeting of the 9th and 16th March 2021. I think I should take this one out. The Department of Women on the 11th of May 2021. I think it should add, it should end here, Chair.
Which Chair?
Masigo?
Which committee are we referring to Nelly? So when we are speaking about the committee secretary in the sentence.
I love wrong. I keep. Akiri, Lana, we are writing our recommendations. Aya good department NYDA na CGE, but responsibilities that are meant for our own internal staff are not supposed to reflect in the report because already we do have that in our minutes.
Correct, Chair.
Lana bekasashaya ihunga.
Work with, I'll remove the whole sentence here, Chair. Work with Deaf SA and institution of higher learning on issues related to disability. That's the end of the recommendations for the department. I'll go to the Commission for Gender Equality, and I will also add should. Yes.
Any recommendation that we did not consider, that members feel strong that we need to write to the department or to the NYDA?
Chairperson.
Babu Ngobo?
Yes. So, Chairperson, under observations, the committee noted the issue of the department allocating a small budget for Program 4. So I was wondering if maybe we should also include the recommendation that says that the department should look at the budget allocation for Program 4, Rights of Persons with Disabilities, given the work that still needs to be done to ensure the inclusion and empowerment of persons with disabilities.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I need to put the Honorable Ngobo.
Yes, I will send it now.
Send it to Nellis. So it will be our age, ne? GH, yeah, it will be our age. Balu age, so that is ukhumbula ukuthi khona into kufanele uyibhale, yeah. And then, sorry?
No, I was continuing, Chair.
Okay.
I'm going to the Commission for Gender Equality. Submit a report to the committee on the role of commissioners in provinces insofar as giving effect to the APP and the amended strategic plan is concerned. Submit a report to the committee that expands on the APP target to ensure it encompasses.
As long as the without a time frame, we gave them a time frame. If my memory serves me well, there was a time frame because we can't have an open-ended a recommendation. I think it's there was where we gave them 2 weeks now to come back to the committee and give us a report. One in relations to the establishment of the panel, which the CEO have violated the policy. Yes. Yebo. Antiman bekakhuluma. Ayangazi.
Can we say, Chair, within 2 weeks after the adoption of the report?
How are other members feeling? What are you saying, honorable members, in terms of time frame? Mkweba? Mpiti? Ngobo? Mamhlengwa? Mam Sonti,
I'm fine, Chair.
Mam Hlengwa,
Chairperson, I'm also fine. That's why I'm just keeping quiet.
oh, Babu Ngobo. Time frame,
Yes, Chairperson. Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks. We said 2 weeks, Chairperson. I think it's reasonable.
okay.
Can I continue, Chair?
Yes,
Okay, I'm at the C now. The role of commissioners should be incorporated in the annual performance plan for 2021-22. Present their report in a timeous manner to the committee and should request to present this report to the committee to ensure that recommendations made have impact. In conclusion, the committee remains committed to ensuring that astute oversight is conducted on the department.
I think Lana my SUSA present their reports in a timeous manner to the committee and those reports to the I'm trying to sense now. Present their reports in a timeous manner to the committee and should request. I'm not sure which kahle kahle besithini la kuphi. Good day. Natasha. Natasha. Maluleke.
Chairperson, I think I'm okay.
Uyifundile icala lo D.
Uti,
Yeah, ngicela ukuthi umfundi. Angisakhumbuli konje ukuthi besithini kubo la.
okay. It's ngiyifunde kahle.
Okay. Conclusion. Uzokhuluma Maluleke bese sibela nakuleya yakho. In conclusion,
The committee remains committed to ensuring that astute oversight is conducted on the department, the Commission for Gender Equality, and the National Youth Development Agency, who all have a significant role to play in improving the lives of women, youth and persons with disabilities, and the
akangena u-Andy simbone. Singaboni khona.
and persons with disabilities and the LGBTQIA+ community. Report to be considered.
Okay.
Chairperson,
Yebo.
yeah, hey, Lodi, I'm not sure whether it makes sense.
Yeah,
Unless, yeah,
sense angazi besithini.
Unless if we are saying ECGE, their reports, they are always late, then maybe we recommend that they must ensure that their reports are submitted to the committee.
Beyithini i-concern yakhona.
That's why I'm saying I don't know what is it that we were saying.
Nelly, let recommendation.
Chair.
Yes, Honorable Mpiti.
I think if I remember correctly, the concern was around the report of the Free State and the report of, I think, KZN that came in a night before. And so we were not given sufficient time to basically deal with those reports because when they presented, the reports had come, I think, the night before. So that is the issue of the Victim Empowerment Center in the Free State. I
Yes.
think the other issue was related to, in KZN, Honorable Masiko should know as well, because she had to respond on that issue. But I think those were the two reports we're referring to.
And the one year obstruction, Commissioner K, I think there were outstanding reports that were not presented to the committee, which we are right, Honorable Mpiti. The one you say Mtwalume KZN, the one you say Free State, when you were doing oversight, and the one you say Eastern Cape. The one you say Eastern Cape, of a commissioner that was stopped by a traditional, it was said that it was alleged that the commissioner was stopped by traditional leaders not to execute duties. Yeah. So I'm not sure, okay, how do we capture it as a consent? All outstanding reports from CGE, the ones that we said they must go and investigate and give us a report in 2 weeks' time, must be submitted in 2 weeks' time. But I'm not sure if there is no a concern from the other side. Nani cabangani madoda?
Chair, for me, my feeling would be that the last part for me of D is what is not making sense. The part that says recommendations made have impact. I think we need to remove those 5 words towards the end, and then rather state D, present their reports in a timeliest manner to the committee. And should they have should they have any additional reports to present to the committee, communicate in a timeliest way? I think, and then we leave it at that. But the last part, I think, doesn't make sense in the sentence.
Chairperson. Chair. Yo. Is the chairperson muted?
No, she's not.
Oh, okay.
You're out or what?
Chair, Crystal's hand is up.
Okay. Crystal?
Thank you, Chair.
Nelisa, where is Nelisa?
I'm here, Chair.
She
Just
is
want
here,
to know.
Okay,
Chair,
Crystal?
I have a suggestion there for D. Perhaps you could split it into 2 points. So the first being D, present the reports in a timeliest manner to the committee to allow it to effectively engage with its contents. So that will address the sending the reports late. So if we're saying presented to us in a timeliest manner to allow the committee to effectively engage with its contents. And then if you make another point E that says as needed, request to present relevant and pertinent reports to the committee to ensure that recommendations and concerns, because the argument was they've got things but they don't always have the opportunity, and Chair had said to them, you can request us make a request to us for a meeting if you want to present. So I think if we add E to say that the CGE should as needed present relevant and pertinent reports to the committee to ensure that recommendations and concerns are addressed. That's my suggestion.
Yeah, so Nelly, so you were not listening. Minangu, by now, you should have deleted what is written in this document. Because
Chairperson, the amendments on my side, I will send it to her and then we can just update it.
okay. And then let's go up again to the one to UE, UH. Let's go to H.
Oh,
Christelle, was it you who was working on H?
yes, Chair. she's
No,
o-
Chairperson.
The one is
Which one
Ngobo.
is
Ngobo.
H?
Ngobo, yes.
Yes, he said he was going to send it through to Niliswa. And then we'll just
Oh,
we'll
okay.
add it there. Chair.
Oh, okay. And then let's go up again to the one of, there was another one on top. Honorable Maluleke was, go
Yeah,
up,
Chair.
go up.
Yes. I think he was referring to this one, Chair.
Sis Joyce?
Chairperson, thank you. I
Qala
think
ngale
now,
ilungise qala.
having considered the annual performance plan and budget, the department, the committee, okay. I was saying recommends to the department, not to the minister. Chairperson, I was suggesting that we remove to the minister and put to the department.
They gave an explanation, but because Nami, I thought we are recommending to the department. And then Christelle said something. So that's why I asked them, what did we write last year?
No,
Were we
Chairperson,
recommending to the minister or we were recommending to the department?
we are recommending to the department, Chairperson, not to the minister. And even in other committees, they are not recommending to the minister of that department. They are recommending to the department.
Do you hear that, Christelle?
Yes, Chairperson.
So all these years you were recommending to who?
Chairperson, I like look, this is the template that comes from the committee section. So this is how we've been writing it. Or rather how Nilisa and Kashava have been writing it for as long as I know, Chairperson. So if I don't know, I'm open to suggestion. My understanding was that because the vote and all the monies for all these entities and for the department falls under this one vote, and the vote falls under the minister or the ministry, that was the reason why. But I'm open to
Chair,
to
Honorable
members.
Piri, can I have a bite?
But you're out of order because I got no kuluma, Honorable Chair.
I'll wait for my turn.
Okay. Finish up, Christelle.
No, Chairperson, that's all I have to say. I'm saying that was my understanding, but I'm open to suggestions and recommendations from Chair and from the members.
Can't you check our last year report?
Our last year, I checked it, and it's exactly the same. It says recommends to the minister.
Okay. Neliswa,
Chair?
Need to salupal.
Yes, Chair, we know we've been recommending to the minister, Chair, not to the department.
Honorable Piri.
Thanks, Chair. Greeting to everyone in the platform. But Chair, my bite was to say, even though all these years we've been recommending to the minister, but currently sometimes we could see we've been making some mistakes, or be it now, even myself, I have a strong feeling that we need to recommend to the department, because all these recommendations, they are implemented by everybody who's in the department. So that is my sentiments to say, let us write it as we are recommending to the department, or be it ministry. It can't be only for the minister alone. She's not an implementer, or be it the one who's gonna push it to implement the resolution that we are recommending. But let us coin it to say we are recommending to the ministry, because I think there's a saying that wants a minister to be part, but it can't be a minister, but a ministry working together, a minister and the DM. So, Chair, that is my input to say let us coin it to ministry rather be it to the department or the minister alone. Thanks.
You know what? Let them double check, ne? Christelle, may you please double check this one, because one, CGE is an independent institution. So whatever we recommend directly to CGE as an independent institution.
Yes, Chair, we are recommending to the CGE.
Because CGE reports directly to Parliament.
Yes, Chair.
Yeah, and NYDA also, it's an agency. It's an independent agency which runs its own budget. That's why there's a confusion. Sometimes the department will think that NYDA is working for them when they've got their own responsibilities that they need to do, but they don't, because they think the NYDA is working for them when they have their own things that they need to do as a department. So I'm not sure exactly on whether even that sentence is relevant or not. I'm subject to correction.
Chair, if I can make a suggestion, and Nelisa can tell me from I'm not sure, like from a procedural perspective, if this is possible, if you can do this. If we have the sentence here at the top, and even if we change it to the ministry, and then we have a similar sentence for each of the entities. So we have this one saying, having considered the annual performance plan and budget for the department, the committee recommends to the minister or ministry for women as follows. And then we have a similar one-liner before the NYDA and then before the CGE as well, to say the committee recommends to the CGE as follows and the committee recommends to the NYDA as follows.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something that will help.
In fact, that makes sense to me, because they are independent institutions.
Okay, Chair.
Honorable Maluleke Uizwilele. Maluleke.
I had. It's fine.
All of them, they are different, because once we write like this, it's like all of them, they are reporting to country. It's not like that. They are reporting directly to Parliament. Masiko, Honorable Masiko.
Hey, I hear what Crystal is raising, but then in terms of the sentencing, if we are recommending to the minister in that above sentence, of which I support the recommendation, Chair, that says let us check, because a department has an accounting officer who is the DG, as well as then the political office, which is the MEC, and both are the department. So I think let us check with the Parliament in relation to this one. But then who are we then going to refer to in relation to NYDA? Are we saying now it's the CEO or the chairperson of the board? And then for CGE, who do we refer to in those cases? That's the first. And then I'll ask to be excused. I'm duty whipping in one of the many plenaries.
Mamela Masiko, before Pumala. What we are saying is, let's write the department, because when you write the department, it also includes the ministry.
I agree with that one, Chair, fully.
Yeah. it includes the ministry. And then when we write NYDA, we'll write a sentence, the very same paragraph, but it will talk about the NYDA. The CGE will write the same paragraph, but it will talk to CGE.
Supported, Chair.
Yeah, because they are independent institutions. They are accountable to Parliament directly. So can we get a mover for the adoption of our report with the amendments?
Yes, Chair.
Angithi siqedile ngicabanga ukuthi we are covered. Are we all satisfied, honorable members?
Yes, Chair, satisfied. I just want to move the adoption of our report with amendments. That is to the
Mamhlengwa,
honorable.
are you satisfied with the concerns and the recommendations? Mamhlengwa? Natasha, are you satisfied? So that we can move for the adoption of this report.
Chair, can I be excused? I'm going to debate now.
Let's adopt a report before, but excused.
I'm second, Honorable Masondo.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Chair.
Okay, the Honorable Masondo have moved for the adoption of the report. And then Honorable Maluleke has seconded the adoption of our report. So our report has been duly adopted.
Oh, Chairperson.
Yes.
Yeah, just that I would like to reserve its rights. Thanks.
But I was asking you about concerns and recommendations. You were quiet. I'm busy asking honorable members, are you satisfied with the concerns and the recommendations? You are quiet, honorable members. So that's why I'm closing it now. Babu Ngobo.
Yes, Chairperson, the DA would like to reserve its rights. Thanks.
Yeah, my recommendations. Number concerns.
No, we are fine with regards to recommendations and observations.
I've been asking you that. So we don't want to miss out to leave some important things that we raised in that meeting. So that's why I've been asking you one by one. What are you saying? Ziphelele or konezinye that we have not captured? No, it's fine. Honorable Ngobo. Okay, the report has been adopted with the reservation of the DA. Now we're done with this report. Let's go to the next report.
Okay, I'll share it now, Chair.
Can we do it on Tuesday? What time is it now?
Yeah, it's 15:15. Yeah,
Can
I'll
we
apply
do it
for
Tuesday, honorable members, in the morning?
Hi, Chair. Yes, I support doing it on Tuesday because plenaries have begun. So I think for people who are debating that we give them the opportunity to engage the reports.
Yeah,
Thanks,
let's deal with it Tuesday morning at 8, ne? 8 to 9. I think it will be 8 to 9. Plenary, 10. Yeah, so we can start at 8 and finish at 9. It's okay, ne?
Yes, Chair.
Yeah, thank you very much, honorable members. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much for your attendance and for your active participation on this report, honorable members. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, Mam Sonti.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you. Ipito yokuloga ini mgweba. Masondo.